What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Season 2 of Interviewing the Affluent. My name is Kwame Barbour, and I'm the founder and CEO of Affluent Clothing. We are a mission-based streetwear brand that promotes the idea that wealth is a matter of inspiration. While there are many different ways to describe affluence, one may believe that it all ties back to wealth and how we express our wealthiness. Affluent Clothing, however, would like to redefine this idea and showcase affluence as a mindset rather than a lifestyle. Through these interviews, we hope to expand the world's perspective on what the word wealth means. Joining us today for episode 5 of season 2, we're happy to introduce Giovanni Delva-Darden.
Yes, sir.
Gio, how we doing?
Doing good, man. How are you?
I'm good, can't complain. I
Yes, sir.
appreciate you being here with us today.
Anytime, bro.
For those who don't know you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got to the university?
Like you said, Giovanni Delva-Darden. I'm a freshman here at Fairfield University. How I got here is an interesting story. Fairfield wasn't a school that I thought I wanted to be at first. Originally, I wanted to go to Quinnipiac, but the way things worked out, I just ended up being here. Didn't really like Quinnipiac like I thought I did when I stepped foot on campus. And honestly, this school was a backup. So I had to put down a down payment, right? And by time it was everything was happening back to back, so I had to buckle up. So I just put down a down payment for Fairfield, and my first day on this campus was orientation, which was extremely late.
Okay.
So I ended up liking it though, So like every day that passed, I just learned to love Fairfield more and more. Everybody who's here, all the students, all the staff, it's just great people. It's nothing like I just love it so much, I'm glad that I ended up being here,
Got you. You're the first year that I've had on the podcast so far. So just talking about that experience, tell us about that transition from high school to your first semester and then that first semester to the second semester.
My first semester here, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I thought, school was something that's like I've been doing for so long. It's like easy. The only thing I got to do is my work and that's it. But considering the pandemic, I haven't really done real work since like 2019 or like March 2020 before we got sent home for the pandemic. So we got sent home, I didn't really do anything. They called it pandemic learning.
Okay.
So it was like this is before Zoom. So they emailed us a schedule of where we were supposed to be, and if you followed it, it was on you, and if you didn't, you didn't. They told us that any work we did will only increase our grade and it wouldn't drop it.
Okay.
So I didn't do anything because I already had good grades. And so when we came back for junior year, that's when all the Zoom and stuff came in. I didn't even get out of bed to get in class. I literally rolled over and just joined the class. So I didn't do real work then. Senior year, we came back, but it's my senior year. Everything is already done. So It's not enough to do but like, extracurricular classes, just chill. So, like, that's, like, 2.5 years of not, like, really challenging myself academically. I come here, and I'm thinking it's, like, an easy walk in the park, but the expectation, the bar was set, as a college student. And this is a good school. This is, like, a great school academically. So the bar is set pretty high.
What's your major, by the way?
I'm a psychology major.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, the bar was set pretty high. And it was like a rude awakening coming from not doing anything to having to study because I have a test next week. And if I fail that test, that's, it's going to be it's going to be a horrible start to my semester. And then that's what ended up happening. I failed a few tests and I said to myself, I was like, yo, like, you got to buckle up. You got to study. You got to, like, it wasn't homework. It was literally just studying. I never really studied before. I never had a study schedule in high school. I didn't need one. But coming here, that's why I realized, like, you got to, like, actually go back to your room and review everything you did in class because next class is going to be a whole nother topic,
Gotcha. Now tell us about that transition from the first semester to the second, having that rude awakening and having to buckle down and do some studying, sacrifice some things to focus more on your schoolwork.
So it was much easier because I already know, like, as first semester went on, I already was finding my ways. And then now I'm just, those ways I created for myself, I'm just making those better. So this semester is definitely, I've like started way better. Um, when it comes to doing tests and studying for tests, I found that my test results so far, only taken like a few handful of tests so far, but all those tests, I have great grades that came back to me. Just expanding. I found that working with people and studying with people in my class helps me do better for tests. So like I'm just expanding on things I found last semester.
Gotcha. And you said you're a psychology major. What made you choose psychology?
So during school, like throughout like what I don't even know, like 13 years of school now. I've always been like a social person. I always talk to my friends. I always found myself helping my friends out with their issues. So, cause I just understood that my words like really impacted people. So I was like, you know what? I might as well get paid for this, and that's therapy. So I was thinking like when I come to college, I might as well just major in psychology and, after I get my degree, expand on that and try to become a therapist. Now this thought is like, it's new. Like this is something that I just really like realized I wanted to do. So I don't have all the, works in. I don't know exactly what type of therapist I want to be and how I want to get there. But
Gotcha.
like I know that's the grand goal, just being able to cure people with my wisdom,
Love to see it. Black men in therapy.
Yeah.
Not only being a therapist, but going to therapy as well.
It's important, especially after the pandemic. A lot of people is affected in many different ways, and I feel like in the future, therapy is something that's going to be booming.
Right, where we're now starting to see mental health days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mental health days are being implemented in the syllabus.
I actually have a professor. That's funny. I have a professor. She yesterday she said today is an asynchronous day, a mental health day. She posted work. Yeah, she posted work for us to do throughout the day, but we didn't meet in class at all.
Love to see it. I think that's very, very important because even though we might need the break, we don't give it to ourselves. Mm-hmm. So now that the professors are forcing us to take those breaks, we'll now make them a part of our schedule.
Yeah.
Academics aside, though, if there's one value that you live by, what might that be?
A value I live by, I feel like just, honesty is the best policy. Just spread truth, spread love, I feel like there's no reason to like really lie or like try to make yourself seem like something you're not. You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like a lot of that happens nowadays. I feel like too many people our age are caught up in like self-image of looking like this, that, and the third. But really, like that's another like type of stress you add on to yourself, add on to your life. Just trying to like hang with these people or like be this person that you're not. Just be who you are, and everybody will attract to you. And that's why I live by. That's why I try to do my best at.
Most definitely, and I think this is the time to really be yourself. Find out really who you are. If you spend all this time pretending to be somebody else,
mm-hmm.
you're gonna get older and not really have no sense of self.
Yep.
Not really know what you truly enjoy,
Yep.
or what your true goals and passions are because you modeled your life after somebody else.
Exactly.
Talking about that, being true to yourself, setting those realistic goals, and having that growth mindset. How would you say you measure success?
I measure success based off whatever success look like to you. And I know that answer is kind of like, it doesn't hit a point, but I feel like success is different for everybody.
And
it's
what
not
is that
really
for you?
For me though. All right, for me, I feel like being able to like provide for my family. Like when I get older, I want to have a few kids, and success to me is being able to like get them whatever they need with no second questions asked. Just like, you want this, boom, you need this, boom. It's not, no hesitation, nothing like that. I want to be able to provide, and that's just success to me, being able to provide for my family, like with no issues, no problem whatsoever.
Got you. Keeping that in mind, what would you do with your life today if you knew you couldn't fail?
If I knew I couldn't fail, man,
you wouldn't be here.
Probably not. Yeah, no, I don't know exactly what I'll be doing, but I'll probably try to like start up a business or like, just start up something quick so I can like just have money now, or not have money now, but like, thought of something beneficial for the future, so I could like by time these things are the way they are, I can like I don't know, be like just set myself up really.
Literally something
Like
that's going to provide stability.
exactly. So be able to set myself up for the future, and like Bill Gates, for example, when he was in college, he created Microsoft, right? That back in the day, that probably wasn't like the most interesting thing
Right.
or whatever, but like today, that's something we see every day, So like, literally, I'll try to like set something up, whatever it is, set something up for the future. So by the time I'm however old, I don't even have to do anything really because everything's already set in stone for me.
I mean, I feel like you can still do that with failure, Put all the ideas down on paper. You don't have to start right away, but put the ideas down, continue to alter those ideas as you gain more knowledge. You become more passionate about a topic. You talk to more people in that industry. But just putting the ideas on paper is enough right now.
That's true.
And knowing that failure is a possibility, how do you stay inspired and motivated every day?
You just got to persevere. You can't let failure stop you from getting to your goals, because in reality, you really never know like how things are going to turn out. If you think you're going to fail and you don't try, then that's how you fail. It's funny how that works. You just got to try your best, keep at it, and just keep doing it until it works out. Now, if you're a person who feels like you've been doing so much already and it's just not working, try one more time. That's what I believe in, just persevering. Like, it gets rough, but like the experience is the best thing at the end of it. The journey is what makes your win so sweet.
Right.
So it's like you just gotta persevere, get through it, and then eventually you'll be one of those people who can get up and talk about how hard your journey was, but you still got there. And that's what inspires other people.
I think it's all about loving your journey as well, you know. Being happy in those good times, but also being happy in those bad times as well, Although it's a bad time, for a fact that you won't always be in that bad time. There's something positive to bring from that, Whether you got yourself in that bad place, somebody else put you there, there's a lesson to learn, so you don't end up there again.
Exactly.
Moving forward, you talked about being good with your words and wanting to make an impact with your words. But outside of that, what would you like to be remembered for?
That's a good question. That's something I never really thought too much about. I would like to remembered for just who I am, I feel like I've impacted a lot of people and done a lot of good things for a lot of people, and I want people to remember that about me. Like, he was a genuine person. He always try to look out and do his best by everybody. That I'm not doing what I'm doing for people to remember me like that.
Right.
I do everything like out of kindness, out of my heart, So it's I just want people to remember me as somebody who's like genuine, I guess. But like, I'm not doing anything for that. If that makes sense.
You don't want to try too hard. Literally, like you said, to start this, just be yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like people are going to accept you or hate you, but there's nothing you can do about that.
Exactly.
All you can do is show up each day, be your genuine self, and go about it from there.
That's facts.
You talked about wanting to be stable, really just reaching that point of stability, whether that's financially, mentally, socially. How do you think you can increase your value to get to that point?
I think that when I say stability, I mean I really mean financial.
Right.
So like, I'll answer it in a way of financial success.
Go ahead.
Right. So I feel like just being able to have financial freedom is what will allow me to have the stability I'm talking about. And that looks like, graduating college, furthering my education. Then when it's time for me to apply to jobs and, do what I need to do, when it comes to competing against other applicants, just having a resume that just stands out, so I can get that job that pays me the money so I can have the financial freedom. Just being able to set myself up as somebody who's like ahead of the competition, I guess, you
Right.
know, because like 50 million people, like there's people who goes to schools better than this one. This is a good school itself, but there's people who go to schools better than this one, and it's like, why should I be picked over somebody who went to Yale, you know?
Right.
But when it comes to that, you know, my goal is just to like try to while being here, try to build experience and a reputation with people that I can put on my resume, and it'll just stand out, you know, rather than those Yale students who go, or any student goes to like a top Ivy League school. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. And while I understand the reality of everything you said and chasing that financial stability, I think the only problem I have with it necessarily is that a lot of it sounds like you're comparing yourselves to other people to then create your own journey. So
Right, yeah.
when it comes to that resume building, are you doing things because you want to do it, or like you said, it's gonna make you look better than that Yale student?
I feel like, see, when it comes to stuff like that, it's kind of tricky because it's like two roads, you know. Some things you have to do for the looks of it, you know, like, and I say that to say like, there's just some experience that you would want to have to look more appealing, you
Right.
know. That's something you have to do. Like, I believe that, I believe that like, it's just some things you should do. There's some things you need to do. Now, if you don't do it, that's on you, right? But like, when it comes to, let's say, like getting your license, I believe that you should have your license before you graduate high school.
Okay.
Like, having a job, you should at least had a job before you graduate high school. Things like that. Not because, you know, because the next person did it and it's always been like that. Just because like it's something for you to follow. It creates like a structure. It creates like it creates like a structure that you like, you know, you can get things done before the deadline type, you
Right.
know.
And again, like we said, there's always those small lessons and those things. So, like you said, it's just being that structure and that foundation, especially when you come to school, you know, you have those time management skills from having that job in high school while also managing all your extracurriculars and class and things like that. And
Just character building.
literally character building. But again, you know, through the brand, we really try to promote doing things for you and not
Yeah.
necessarily for others.
Right,
So
that's true, yeah.
really just trying to be more in tune with yourself in terms of what passions do you have, what things can you do outside of your major that you're actually interested in, just so that our life is not consumed by chasing financial stability.
Right, okay.
Now, with that being said, my final question to you is, what does affluence mean to you?
Affluence. What's affluence? What's that?
Wealth.
Wealth.
Yeah.
I like that word, affluence. Wealth means to me, I think it allows you to have like freedom, like financial freedom. I feel like when you're, you know, I feel like wealth, like, you know how they say health is wealth.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it allows you just to be able to not have like a barrier over your head. Like, you can do what you need to do when you need to do it. I feel like that's when the real you would like really show itself, is when you don't have anything restricting you. And it sucks to say, but like, you know, money is very powerful.
Right.
Like there's no ands ifs or buts about it.
But do you think money brings happiness?
Personally, yeah, I do.
Let's talk about it.
I do, and I think it. I think since money is something everybody is trying to get. Money runs the world, right? And it's like when you don't have it, I feel like that's when things like depression comes, and then, you know, you might start feeling like you're not successful because you don't have it. And then let's say like poor communities, it's like generational of not having money. So it's like it creates people who will do anything to get the said money. You know what I mean? So it's like I think it may not necessarily buy happiness, but it definitely like puts you in a better place. You know what I mean?
Understandable, right? But what if I'm doing all that I can to get that money and I still don't have it? Because my thing is, if I'm working 40 hours a week just to pay a bill, I'm still broke at the end of the week.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm stuck in a cycle of chasing money for the sake of surviving.
When it gets deep into it, that cycle will keep on repeating itself, and I feel like I don't know. I feel like you just have to like somebody has to break that, and that may not be exactly easy. It's not anything I'm saying. It's definitely not easy. It's definitely easier to say than it is to do.
Most definitely.
But I feel like let's just say in that cycle, there will be somebody who will achieve better than what has been achieved by their past.
But why can't that be you? You said wealth is health, and we say wealth is inspiration. So why can't you be inspired? Take your ideas, do what you need to do in class, but still do all the things that you're passionate about on the side to break that. We talked about it in an earlier episode of season 1. It was Remy's episode. Okay. He's a computer science major. He was talking about the importance of not only doing the work that you're assigned in class, having those side projects, things that you can have fun with that can further your learning outside of what they're teaching you, because that builds your skills at the end of the day. When you do those side projects, or take me, for example, as a management and finance student, I'm doing everything that I need to do in the classroom, but I'm still building a business on the side and working a job. So I don't only have one source of income, like we're doing all that we can to chase financial stability. But like I said, we got bills to pay. So we start over and over each week. So
that's true.
Finding different ways to make that money and still have fun. Yeah. So where we're not in that trap of, I don't got the money this week. And like you said, that brings depression and all those other things.
It's I feel like there's no concrete answer to this.
Not at all.
Your point of view just made me think about it, and I can't say I have like an answer to that. But
something to think about.
It's definitely yeah. It's not like I feel like it all routes back into like what success looks like to you, and it's like different on each person. I feel like to me, success looks like to me is just being able to have financial freedom, and being able to like make those power moves and just do whatever you want to do. That's just success for me.
Makes sense. Before we got out of here, are there any words of advice that you would like to leave the viewers with?
Persevere. Keep doing what you gotta do. It may get rough, but you just gotta keep on going. Think about where you are today. You're not always gonna be there. It may be rough right now, but you just gotta keep on going. I feel like life is more of a mental game. I feel like people struggle with life more in their mind than what they're struggling in reality.
Right.
So you just got to keep on going. Just build some calluses in your mind. Do the things that you love, but also be able to do the things that you hate. Just keep on pushing.
Most definitely.
Yes, sir.
So that concludes episode 6 of season 2. As he said, wealth is health. Wealth is inspiration. Keep going. Do what you got to do. See you guys next episode. Gio, appreciate you, my boy.
Anytime, bro.